So I got the lower final match right, and I think I had pretty much a perfect read on all of the maps. Um, Maybe for like Corel was a bit more dominant than I maybe thought, and yeah, I didn't agree with the map veto that NRG went for. Right, I talked about why I think Bind wouldn't be a good ban for them, and then they uh, still banned it, and I think that was an issue that neither Split nor Breeze was banned. But yeah, regardless, I think Paper X deservedly won 3-1, and now we're gonna look at the grand final, and I hope I have as good of a read on these maps as well. And obviously, Nongshim will have two map bans since they went through the upper bracket, qualified or made the grand final through the upper bracket. And so their reward is the double map ban, and they're gonna stick with their Pearl Bama ban, obviously. Now, Pearl isn't one of Paper X's best maps, but I still think they're gonna be really happy with that. And then for the second map ban, I think there are realistically two options. Either Split, just because for Paper X it's such a good map, and it just makes a lot of sense to get rid of your opponent's best map. And it's not that great of a map for Nongshim, but what I've gone for is with Breeze, since yeah, Nongshim hasn't played Breeze thus far at Santiago. They've only played it once this year at all, and yeah, they haven't looked that great. For Paper X, it's looked like one of their best maps, and it's one of their most played maps as well. So because of that, I think Breeze just works out really well for Nongshim, and I don't think they're eager to play that map. So I think these two map bans from Nongshim are pretty much set in stone. And then for the first map pick for Nongshim, I think it's also straightforward. I think they're gonna pick Bind. It's probably Pepper X's worst map. Obviously, Pepper X have a permaban in Abyss, but that's not as great of a map for Nongshim. And I think, yeah, Bind Pepper X has not looked great on. And for Nongshim, it's been one of their better maps, and they can play the Neon on that map. Dumby plays it really well on that map, right? And so yeah, I see Nongshim as clear favorites on Bind. Then for Paper X's map pick, I think they're gonna pick Split. I think regardless of which of the two between Split and Breeze stays in, Paper X are gonna pick that map. And yeah, in this case, I think it's gonna be Split, and I think Paper X are heavy favorites on that map. Although, yeah, it could happen that we see a Dumby masterclass or maybe Francis masterclass. He played really well in their match against Energy, so there's a possibility for Nongshim to take that map, obviously, but yeah, I think it's highly likely that Paper X will win Split. And then for the second rotation of map picks for Nongshim, I've gone with Haven. Haven is one of their best maps, and yeah, they've looked incredible on that map. I think it's a really good pick. It could also be that they choose to pick Haven over Bind. I think that's an option. I just think Bind works out better because it's a worse map for Paper X. But regardless, on both of these maps, I favor Nongshim. And yeah, with that, Nongshim would be 2-1. And then for Paper X, I've gone with them picking Corrode. I don't think Paper X are gonna pick their permaban. And with it going to Corrode, I think that map is really, really close. I think it's pretty much a 50-50 map, but I've gone for Nongshim, which might be unexpected since I'm predicting a 3-1 for Nongshim and not a 3-2, even though I think these teams are really close in skill, just because Dambi can play his Neon on that map, and his Neon has looked so incredible. And also with Francis stepping up against NRG, they didn't play Kurot, but in general in their match versus NRG, Francis really stepped up. So this team just looks absolutely insane, and yeah, they already looked really incredible on Kurot at Master Santiago thus far, and now with Francis stepping up, I don't know. I just felt like Nongshim are slight favorites on Kurot, even though it's kind of a 50-50. That's why I've gone with Nongshim and predicting a 3-1. And then if that map goes to Paper X, which I think is fairly likely still, the remaining map would be Abyss. And on Abyss, again, I would favor Nongshim just because it has been Paper X's permaban. And even though it hasn't been a great map for Nongshim in their last match versus NRG, they still looked pretty good on that map. And it felt like they addressed their biggest issues on that map. And so because of that, I can't realistically put Paper X as favorites on a map that they haven't played once this year. So yeah, because of that, as you can see, for me, Nongshim are clear favorites coming into this grand final. Obviously, the double map ban works out really well for them. It's a huge advantage. And because of that, I have a 3-1 for Nongshim over Paper X. And to be honest, I think it would be really, really exciting if Nongshim were to win. I think it's such an incredible story, right? Coming from tier 2, from Ascension, making it up. Then last year, a bit of a, like, they kind of needed to this year to adapt to the stage and to the whole, yeah, to the whole different level that tier 1 is. And now they are playing so incredible, and obviously the Dumby show has been such a joy to watch, and it's so much fun to watch that team. And yeah, just this whole story, because they had to go back through Ascension, made it through, coming all the way from Premier. It's such a cool story, and yeah, it will be the first Ascension team winning an international, which would also be really sick. And yeah, I just love that team. I love the narrative behind them winning, and so I'm rooting for Nongshim, even though I really like Pepper X as well. But yeah, as I've said, I've gone with a 3-1 for Nongshim over Pepper X. That's my prediction. And so yeah, let me know what you guys think. Who do you see winning? Who would you prefer to win it as well? And then I'll see you guys next time.